A lot of times we just suffer in silence when on the other side of it, there are friends, family members, associates, community groups, online communities that are willing to walk this walk with you. So tonight we're going to talk about how to be hyper focused, all with an effort to keeping it together. I'll start off with the 5 that I want all of us to pay attention to, but they're really simple. I'm quickly going to go over number 1. The first thing I want us to write down, prioritize. I don't care if you write it on an index card, a napkin, a piece of paper, whatever, but I want you to write down first and foremost what and who, or what and or who makes you unhappy. Yes, I'm starting with being unhappy. What occurs in your life that you know when this thing happens or this person comes around gives you a sense of unease, unhappiness, dread, all of those things. And the next question is real simple. What actions? Because we're about that action now. We're about that action. What action can you take to either decrease it or eliminate it altogether, right? I want everyone to answer these 5 questions, please. And so first, I want to know what and or who makes you unhappy. And for me, what makes me unhappy is the news, the corporate media news. It makes me unhappy. Something that used to bring me so much joy. And so what used to bring me so much joy brings me just the opposite. I am so unhappy when I watch corporate news media because they all seem like robots. They all seem like they're being told what to say and how to say it, right? It doesn't seem authentic at all. So what have I done? I have drastically decreased my intake of corporate news. And so it can be anything from the news, it can be being unhealthy, it can be feeling stuck in a place, it can be so many things. So we want to know what makes you unhappy and what actions can you take to decrease it or eliminate it. And then follow that question up by what makes you happy? What and or who makes you happy? So again, what is that thing that brings you joy that, if you're feeling down, you get a shot of dopamine, right? It could be a person, place, or thing, right? And so, but we just sometimes don't even acknowledge what those things are. So for me, I'll just give you another simple example. Nature, being amongst trees, being in beautiful arrangements, immersing myself in natural environments, or rather it's the sand and the beach, rather it's the botanical gardens, right? Rather it's spending time just listening to the birds chirp someplace. That brings me so much happiness, so much joy. And I then ask myself, how can I increase that person, place, or thing? Or how can I at least preserve it and or sustain it, right? Because sometimes it's not always logical to increase it, but making sure that you're doing everything you can to preserve and or sustain it. So those 2 are combined. Then, based on those answers, you want to ask yourself, do you need help to accomplish any of those things, right? Is it something that you can do on your own? Or is it something that when you try to do it on your own, you get stuck, you get overwhelmed? So again, it can be something related to health, right? So if being overweight makes you unhappy, and then you think about the things that you can to decrease that unhappiness. So losing weight is a way that it can help to eliminate that feeling of unhappiness. But is it something that you can do by yourself, or do you need help? And help can come in all different forms. It can come from a friend that you enlist. A lot of times we just don't ask for the help. A lot of times we just suffer in silence when on the other side of it, there are friends, family members, associates, community groups, online communities that are willing to walk this walk with you. So is it something that you can do on your own, or you feel you tried too many times and you know that you need assistance? Then question number 4 would then be, if you think you need help, who can you get to help? And don't just think of one person. Try to put together a list just in case. Plan A, doesn't work, it's all about having options, right? And that's what we talk about here. Having options is a sense of freedom, because if plan A doesn't work, then you just go down the list of plan B. So maybe your initial thought is that you will enlist your sister because your sister is usually there for you and blah, 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 blah. And maybe your sister starts out being there for you, but then something happens in your sister's life that she can no longer be there for you. It's not personal. And we have to acknowledge and accept that everybody goes through things at different times, but that shouldn't stop you from getting to the place that you want to be. So if your sister falls off, who's next on that list? If they can't do it, who's next on that list? And then finally, you have to put a time frame to get this accomplished. It could be bite-sized time frame, and I prefer that it's not by the end of the year, I'm going to start going to the beach, or I'm going to start spending more time with nature, or I'm going to eliminate being around these people. Make it very specific time frames that are easy to look back on and see how you've accomplished them, right? It's called having SMART goals. Let me know if you know what having SMART goals is. It's acronym SMART. And I practice this as much as I can in as many areas of my life, including this marathon live, right? So if you know what the acronym stands for, put it in the comment. Cynthia, yep, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And sometimes the word attainable can be interchanged with the word achievable. So if you hear it either way, it's accurate. This is all based in SMART goal principles. It works. Big companies use this to stay on brand, to stay on target, and to meet their goals. Individuals use it to, when it comes to starting a fitness program, to starting a business, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to start implementing things that work in our daily lives. So SMART goals just simply mean specific. I want to, or I need to, or I will, blah, blah, blah. It needs to also be measurable. So that's the M in SMART. It makes it easier to track your progress and to know when you have achieved the desired result or where you are in the process. It's a great mindset to have, and it's a great strategy to use. The A stands for achievable or attainable. And that's just saying, like, you can't have unrealistic goals. Like, if your goal is to become a millionaire in 30 days, that is what we deem as unrealistic. If your goal is to lose 100 pounds in 30 days without you being ill, that is unrealistic, right? And the quickest way to, make sure that's true is ask yourself, just say to yourself, hey, self, is this something that I can, truly accomplish? Is this something that I feel confident that I can accomplish? And then you also have to make sure that they're relevant. So relevant just means relevant to you, not relevant to Susie, not relevant to Sam, not relevant to the church, not relevant to your job. It's relevant to you. And you can figure that out by asking yourself, why am I setting this as a goal? Why am I setting this as a goal, right? So you're being introspective, right? And so the last thing is it has to be time bound or timely. And that just means that you are going to say, I am going to start this thing on Tuesday. And then the goal is to finish it by this day. You're committing to yourself that you're going to finish by a certain time. And then you could do like bite-sized pieces. Like, so if by the end of the month, you're going to do whatever the thing is, you can do weekly check-ins to see where you are in the process. So the 5 questions, once again, that we should be asking ourselves, not only at the top of the year, but, do a retrospective every 28 days, every 4 weeks, or at least every month, whatever time frame works best for you. You want to ask yourself what and or who makes you unhappy. We're going to start there first, because that's what you need to attack first. And part of that question is, what action can you take to either decrease it or eliminate it? So hopefully that made sense.
So if you're ready to start enhancing your life, start implementing these strategies today. Also, don't forget to check out the Stay Ready Playlist 2.0 series, as well as this upcoming video that YouTube thinks you may like. And hit that subscribe button.